Jeepers Creepers 2 stars Ray Wise, Jonathan Breck, and a school bus full of high schoolers I can't name them all, there's too many. And this movie takes place during the same spring as the first movie, so Justin Long, Gina Phillips, when they are terrorized, this is day 23 of that same spring, and the Creeper's on his last night. He's gonna terrorize a bus full of students. They're stranded out there on this lonely highway, and he's gonna take his sweet time deciding who he wants and what he wants from them. Meanwhile, Ray Wise, a guy with a vendetta, a personal grudge against the Creeper, he's basically Captain Ahab in this, and he's gonna stop at nothing to kill the Creeper. And this movie, like the first one, has a little bit of a connection with me. The first one was one of my first exposures to horror movies, and fell in love with it, and I still love that movie. Did it have its flaws? Maybe a little. Shh. This one, it has a connection where it's like the first one creeped me out, and then just like the little cover, like him as a scarecrow, freaks me out a little bit seeing it. Especially like that lighting. They bring that sort of lighting in the movie during the one premonition thing where you see him running through the cornrows and it's his darkness. He's just shrouded in blackness through all those very orangish, reddish cornrows. Like, that's a creepy image. But I remember after seeing this, it was always a joke. When it was on a field trip and we drove by a field, like, oh, look, where's the Creeper? Is he gonna come out and take out our bus? Every time I was on a bus and we drove past like a field or something, that joke had to be made. It was like an iconic idea. We're gonna be stuck on this bus and he's gonna eat my face. And let's address it right now. Is this movie as good as the first or better? No, it's significantly less good, but it's still, I'm not gonna crap on it because there's a lot to like in this movie and I had a fun time watching it. So let's talk about it, all the good and bad, because the movie, again, written and directed by Victor Salva, the guy, his filmmaking style is really good. It's got a little bit of a classical feel to it, and I love it. It's still his camera work. Remember the awesome stuff where stuff's happening in the background, or we see it but the characters don't, and it's a little bit out of focus, so you're kind of struggling like, oh god, what is that? And it's freaky, it's horrifying. And the cinematography is very good too. I think of some of the use of color he has, like the opening scene and the premonition scene where everything is like, it looks like this basically, orangish, yellowish color. It's very creepy stuff, and other times it looks very good. Here and there it's maybe not so good. I don't know if it's the cinematographer's fault, but you see the Creeper in the sky and it's just kind of like, it's a close-up on him and then the background looks very phony baloney. It's like, it's kind of silly looking. But most of the time it's a very well shot movie, very well directed. I like the camera work, like I said, and then the acting, it's a mixed bag for sure. Jonathan Breck as the Creeper, again, very good. The guy, he does great as the Creeper. I love him. He brings a lot of personality to a character that doesn't speak and is all more physicality. It's about his actions, not what he says. But he still, sometimes he'll make a face. He's just like, that's creepy, and then it's also kind of funny. Then Ray Wise as Captain Ahab, basically, very good. He's the emotional center to this movie. He's suffered a tragedy. He's lost something, and he's gonna get his revengeance. Sure, we'll say that. He's gonna get it. He's got a vendetta, and the guy's just, oh, he's intense in this, and he's really good. He's a tragic, emotional character, and we needed more of him in the movie, to be honest, because we spent a lot of time with all the teenager high schoolers on the bus, and they're good enough actors, but I would liked Ray Wise a lot more, and his story was more tragic and emotional, and better. Them, it's like, okay, this is the more slasher movie type setup. They're trapped on a bus, which I think is an ingenious idea. This empty road, they're trapped on a bus. It's like they could run anywhere, but if you know the Creeper, that won't help too much. And so he's like testing them, kind of toying with them, deciding who he's gonna kill, what he wants from them, stuff like that. And that stuff's good. But there is some hammy humor there too. Some of it is very intentional though. Victor Salva, he has a dark sense of humor in the first one, and here he brought it over too, but sometimes it's maybe a little too overt, and like some of the humor does not work. It's too silly, but most of the time it's like creepy, funny humor. Like, I think of the best scene in the movie, Creeper's picking out who he wants. It's equal parts hilarious and horrifying. But also the school bus kids, it's like, first time we see them, it's like they're all shirtless, and then they're like peeing in a row and stuff. It's like, okay, there's that, but like there's still a lot of good stuff. So many iconic things too, like how the teacher characters are removed from the situation. I'll put it that way. I thought that was great. Great camera work and setup cinematography there too. And then once the students are fighting, and to be honest, I didn't know which of them was going to be like the last survivors. I knew the one girl that you all know, it's like Premonition Lady. He's again the same silly setup of I know what's going to happen. I had a premonition, And so I'm here to explain the rules now because it just came to me in my head randomly and it's not explained. So I knew it's going to be her probably, but all the other students, it's like, okay, I like that dork, and you know, the main jock asshole blonde guy is like, he might live if he learns a lesson of morality, I don't know. Like a lot of the characters, it's like, we have a large group of students. So because of that, I wasn't quite sure which ones would live or die, and the results at the end, I was actually a little surprised of some of the people that died and lived, to be honest, because a lot of them was like, okay, you're dead meat. Oh, you lived? Okay. And speaking of that premonition chick, the one that I figured would live, that's something from the first movie they brought back. This idea of a person who has premonitions and is here to explain the rules and everything. Every 23rd spring for 23 days he gets to eat and stuff like that. But you know what they didn't bring back? And it's frustrating as hell. They didn't bring back the song, any version of a Jeepers Creepers song, or the truck. Those are like two iconic things from the first that are just nowhere to be seen. That was very disappointing and just a big fucking bummer, to be honest. That was highly just, why'd we have to lose that? But we still got the creeper, who's still creepy, obviously. But Victor Salva kind of made a mistake in this. He needed a more subtle approach to the filmmaking in this. The first one was subtle, suspenseful, and horrifying because of it. This one, he goes a little more broad, a little more humorous. He needed to pull back a little, restrain, and not go for so much showing the creeper, like shroud him in some more shadows, make him a little more mysterious, keep him mysterious. We see too much of him. More subtle filmmaking would have really helped. And I don't mind that it's going more fun B-movie. Like, it's funny at times. It is very funny, but too much emphasis on humor. It's still got creepy imagery and creepy, scary-ish situations, but it's a far step down from the first one, which I love. This one's still a very fun, enjoyable B-movie now, but that's all it is. Like, the emotional core of it, Ray-wise, he's sadly not in this movie as much as he should be. Like, if it was more emphasis on him, and you cut down the school bus stuff less, and kept the school bus stuff a little more scary and less humorous, the movie overall might have been better. But I still enjoy the movie we got. It's a lot of fun, highly entertaining, highly enjoyable. I'd give Jeepers Creepers 2 a B. I still had a lot of fun with it. Could it have been better? Obviously, it could have been way better, but there's still a lot of stuff I like, and yeah. So comment below, tell me your thoughts on Jeepers Creepers 2, the more goofy, campy B-movie version, but a fun, enjoyable movie. Let me know your thoughts on it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.